Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be reacting to some spooky stories that I got from TikTok. And the first story we are going to be reacting to is from, actually I cannot pronounce her name, so we are just going to watch because her name will be on the screen.
This woman has the scariest stories on TikTok. If you're near your high, I usually talk about pretty scary stuff, and I stumbled across this woman's page a couple of days ago, and since then I have not stopped thinking about this particular story. And when I tell y'all that this story scared me so bad that it has not left my mind. I'm specifically talking about this woman's video. Now, this woman was an on-call healthcare professional in the Appalachian Mountains. If that doesn't already give you chills, I don't know what will. Now, some of her clients do not have running water or electricity, so they would send time card slips by mail up to the clients, and when they would receive them is when they would have their appointment. Upon arriving at the specific client's house, who this story is about, she was met by a swarm of flies. Now, at this part in the story, I had no idea what kind
of that's a red flag
story this was going to be. I did not know if it was going to be like a body. I did not know if it was going to be like a medical thing. I did not know. She says that this particular client did not have any furniture in the home, so she was met with a damp smell.
That's suspicious.
And newspapers spread all over this floor. The client gestures for her to sit down, and she does, not wanting to embarrass this client, and there are just flies everywhere. And this is a detail that has not left my mind. As she's putting in the notes on her laptop, anytime she would move her hand, she would hit a fly. That is how many flies were in this home. And these flies, in particular, were trying to get into her eye. And you know where this is going. The fly got so close to her eye that she actually caught one in her eyelid. Obviously her eye started watering, but this fly would not come out of her eye. Finally, she's able to get the body of the fly out of her eye, but she can still feel something in her eye. But she continues on. She continues taking her notes. She's asking the client questions, and had been noticing that whenever she would ask this client a question who lived alone, they would respond back in plural. So, do you take medications? Yes, we take medications. We live here. Plural. And at one point, she asks this client to clarify, and they say, we live here. So after this visit is concluded, she gets in her car, she goes home. Once she gets home, she makes an appointment with her optometrist to get whatever is left out of her eye because she can feel that there's something still in there. Now she goes to leave, flies covering the screen door. She's like, what the heck is going on? So she brushes them off, gets in her car, turns the car on, goes to the optometrist, and they are able to remove a fly's wing and a fly's leg. Gets in her car, starts the car, and flies. Buzz through the vents. And it's at this point where she's understanding what this client was meaning when they would say, we live here, we take medications, we do this. And immediately it goes to her church, because if you don't know what I'm picking up and putting down, this was a demonic entity. Now, in retrospect, yes, that makes a lot of sense, because the flies, the smell, the we. He says, cast it out. It is not welcome to be in your home. So she does just that. And mind you, the flies have not left her home. She casts this thing out. She's laying in bed waiting for her husband to come up to bed when she sees something sitting on her ceiling. And this is the part that gave me chills, okay? I've been thinking about it for almost a week. She says that this thing was missing a leg. And she says that it started to turn its head. And she knows this because she could see its hair fall to look at her when it was changing its position. And it begins to crawl across her ceiling, not breaking eye contact with her. Crawled into her closet. She never saw it again. And here's the kicker. Wakes up the next morning, goes downstairs, opens up her front door, and all of the flies that were infesting the screen door were now dead. And all I gotta say is this. That woman says something very important in that video, and it is throughout the entirety of it. She says that when you talk about things like this, it manifests. And I couldn't agree more. Right after I heard this video, I am walking out the front door and I hear something. And mind you, I've been doing really, really good, okay? I have not heard a single peep. I have not heard a single scratch. I have not heard anything until I heard this video. So take that as you will. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Stay tuned for more ghost stories.
Yeah, that's weird if you ask me.
Y'all want to hear some scary shit? This story takes place in Orlando, Florida, when
Anyways, let's move on to the next one because, yeah, that one was creepy.
Y'all want to hear some scary shit? This story takes place in Orlando, Florida, when a family from San Antonio travels there for a family reunion. You know how family reunions go. Adults want to go party and the teenagers watch their little cousins. The adults told the kids, y'all stay in this room, don't leave, don't answer the door for anybody, and make sure it's not dirty when we get back. This 13-year-old cousin, she decides she gonna do what she wanna do anyway. So she decides she wants the soda and she's gonna leave the room and get it. She leaves the room and goes down the hall to the set of vending machines at the end
That is what you get when you don't listen to your parents.
of the hallway. Well, standing there is a man and his daughter and a little old lady with a bag of quarters. So she waits for the little old lady to get done, but the little old lady tells her, don't put your money in there. It just took $1.25 of mine. So the little girl is disappointed and she's like, well, let me go back to the room, straighten up a little bit, and then go to the 3rd floor and get me a damn soda. She leaves out of the room the 2nd time, and the little old lady is making her way around the corner to the first set of elevators. So the little girl calls after her, like, hey, wait up, hold up.
You want some? Yes? Okay.
Up, hold the elevator. She gets on the elevator with the little old lady. She pushes 3. The little old lady pushes 4. They have a small talk or whatever the case may be. 3rd floor come up. She gets off. The little old lady gets off behind her. She's not thinking. She's just like, well, she old. She probably lost, whatever. So they walk down the hallway to the set of soda machines together. She's telling her why she's here and everything, you know, all the business. The little girl notices the hallway is a little longer than it should be, and she's getting tired. She says, oof, this hallway is long. To which the little old lady responds, child, you young. You can go down there and I'll still be here. Little girl said,
I'm so sorry if you guys are hearing any background noise. That is what I get for living with my siblings.
yes, yeah, you're right. The little old lady tells her, well, let me go. Little girl realizes, okay, she finally realizes this is the 3rd floor, not the 4th. Fine. She gets ready to tell the lady bye, and the lady is gone. Disappear right next to her. Now, the little girl don't know whether to take the stairs or the elevator, but she decides she gonna get her ass back on the elevator because she not going down that stairwell. She runs to the elevators, and all of a sudden she hears ting, and there is a green arrow pointing up. She say, hell no, I'm not going there. She runs to the 2nd set of elevators, get on there, and she is obviously flushed, and everybody on the elevator is looking like, what the hell is going on? So, y'all know what to do. Follow for part 2.
Like I said before, that is what she got for not listening to her parents. Let's move on to the next one. And this one is one of my favorites.
Story time on how a ghost took a picture of me and then I was hospitalized soon after. Now, bear with me because I'm not a storyteller, but I have a lot of stories to tell, so I'm gonna try to get better with it. So this incident happened way over a decade ago. I was like 18, I'm 35 now. So I had this guy that I used to send pictures, like videos to, like of me dancing. He loved to see me dance. And he made music, and I used to always go to the studio with him and whatever. But he had tragically passed away in a car accident, right? So this one time after he had passed, I had made a video, like I was dancing. I don't like professionally dance, not like a stripper or something. I was at home. Imagine back then my phone did not have a front camera, so I had to turn the phone around, prop it up so it could watch me dance. I was dancing to Trina Look Back At It. I was twerking. Like, I don't even know why I was doing that. That's neither here nor there. I was young. So I'm dancing, like twerking. I'm killing, like, look back at it. Look back at it. Girl, look back. So anyway, I go back to watch the video, and you know, I had to pick the phone up and watch the video. I wanted to make sure the angles was good and everything was popping. So behind me though, while I was dancing, my closet was ajar. So when I went to go watch the video back, I seen like something moving in the closet on the video, because I'm like, what the fuck? So then it took like a picture. It took like it was like a flash, but the silhouette was like a skull. So it was like dark right here. It was dark, but it was white, like a white shadowy figure. And I was like, am I tripping? Imagine I was still staying with my mom. I think I was like 17, 18. I had just moved out when I was 18, so I had to be 17. So I'm like asking my mama do she see it? She like, I did just see that flash. And she like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, what's going on? So I start going crazy. Not going crazy, but I couldn't believe it. I start asking everybody's opinions. So I stayed in the hood. And there was a place up the street where a lot of guys just standing there, but I knew them, they was cool or whatever. So I was asking a couple people, like, do you see this? So this one guy, he had a crush on me, and I'm like trying to show him the video, make sure I wasn't tripping. I'm like, listen, you gotta pay attention to the closet. Do not pay attention to me shaking my, because I had a fat ass back then. Don't pay attention to me. He's looking at the video, and I'm like, you see? He's like, oh wait, play it back, because I wasn't paying attention. Because he was too busy looking at me dancing. I'm like, listen, you really have to pay attention to the closet. He's like, okay, let me do it again. And he look, and he's like, you gotta play it back real quick, because I wasn't paying attention, I got distracted. I'm like, listen, really? So he finally was like, damn, I do see it. It was like a little flash, like they took a picture of me. And the whole time I'm like, this gotta be Vernon. Like, this gotta be Vernon, the one who passed away that I used to be sending the videos to. I said, this gotta be him, because ain't no way. Like, that's crazy. And I didn't have no bad vibes at that time. So I asked at least 20 people, because I just could not get over it. And everybody, they witnessed it, and they seen the shadow, and they seen the flash. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know I ain't tripping. So maybe like a week later or so, I had got this really, 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 really bad headache, to the point where I couldn't even see. I couldn't even open my eyes, and my head was throbbing. I always suffer from migraines, but this one was different. Like, I had to go to the hospital. Like, I could barely swallow. The light was bothering my eyes. And I'm like, something going on. So my friend at the time, he's still my friend to this day, and he a witness to the story too. He took me to the hospital. They admitted me. They diagnosed me with meningitis. It wasn't like the point where I'm losing limbs and stuff, but it was bad. So they had put all my stuff in those bags, you know, they put all your belongings in, those clear bags, those hospital bags. They put all my belongings in there. I wasn't even thinking about my phone, because I was in so much pain. And then they gave me like some morphine, so I was on 10. I was like high as fuck. I really didn't know what was going on. And he was there with me. So I think they had me in there for like 2 days. So when it was time for me to leave and I got better, my friend came and got me, and I'm like, where my phone at? And he like, I don't know. I'm like, what you mean you don't know? I was literally looking for my phone. My phone was gone. And I feel like it's a reason why, because I was just showing too many people what was going on with that video. And I'm like asking the nursing staff. I kept going back to the hospital. And I kept asking my friend, like, you sure you ain't taking my phone? But me, I'm cool. Like, I know he wouldn't do nothing like that. Ever. And we still cool to this day. He went up to the hospital every day. I'm like, somebody stole my phone. And I'm just like, it's not a coincidence that video that I got in that phone is evidence that phone disappeared. And I just didn't understand it. To this day, I don't know what's going on, but I wanted to tell that story. There's a lot of paranormal things happen to me. That's not the only thing. I also have a story time when my mama was possessed by a demon, and I actually have footage of that. So if y'all want that video, definitely let me know. And there was witnesses there. My kids was there. We all witnessed it. And I also have a story time on how my brother, who passed away, we think he called us inside his urn, like his ashes. That's another one. And I have another one after that. Like, stuff be happening to me, and I'm like, I think I'm different, and that's okay. Everybody's different. I'm not like a bad different, but I did want to let y'all know that my phone got stolen or disappeared after I exposed that there was a fucking ghost in my video taking a picture of me while I was dancing to Trina Look Back At It. with my fat old booty back then. I had this long ponytail. Like y'all know, I used to wear the long donkey ponytails. I had an Aeropostale collar shirt on, it was purple. I had some plaid shorts that had purple, orange, and like brown in it. So like that was what we was wearing back then. And I was like, you know, getting it with my long ponytail, like feeling good. And that goes it just threw my whole vibe off after I watched my video back. But just tell me if y'all want another story time. And I got y'all.
This one is not even scary. It's just that how would I even put this? I think that's her friend, you know, trying to let her know that he's still around.
Story time. This happened to me, and we're going to call it the medium. So I am a small business owner of a year-round Halloween store in San Antonio, Texas. And one day these two women come to my store, they shop around, they buy some stuff, and as they're getting ready to leave, one of the sisters kind of comes back and she looks at me and she's like, hey, how do you feel about psychic mediums, paranormal, spirits? Do you believe in that stuff? And I said, look around, of course I do. I believe in all of it. So she comes right back into the store and her sister's like, here we go. And she tells me, my name is so-and-so and I'm a psychic medium. And I said, okay. And she said, can I ask you something? And I said, let it rip, sister, go ahead. And she said, there is someone standing behind you. And he's tall, he's slim, he has tattoos on his head, on his neck, he has tattoos everywhere. She stays quiet and she's like, he's your husband's friend. Do you know who I'm talking about? And I was like, absolutely. It is one of his very close friends that passed years ago, about maybe 10, 11 years ago. And immediately I was floored because how could she possibly know this? His description, the fact that he's my husband's friend, like, you know? So we start talking and she's like, I have another question. Is this space blessed? And I said, well, I cleanse it about once a week just because you never know who's walking into your area. So I always cleanse it. I burn sage, I burn incense, just a whole bunch of stuff. And she says, yeah, I can tell that this place is kind of protected because he is standing behind you and he's telling me something. He's talking. He wants to say something, but I don't understand what he's saying because his words are just jumping like off the walls. And that normally happens when your place is protected. And I was like, yes. Then she asks me, are you intrigued by Ouija boards? And I said, I collect them. And she's like, yeah, I'm getting that vibe from you. And all I have to say is, don't do it. I don't mess with them. I don't play with them, but I've been wanting to play with one for a long time. And she said, don't do it. Then she proceeds to tell me, hasn't anybody told you that you're a ley line? And I was like, oh, what is that? I don't know what that is. And she says, imagine being in a pitch black room and you have a flashlight lit right here. She's like, you're blinded, you can't see anything. But if there's anyone out there, they can see you. And I said, okay. So she says, if you wanted to open your third eye, you'd be able to communicate with spirits. I'm sensing that you have a gift, you just haven't opened it yet. She said, do you always witness weird stuff? Noises, you see things, you hear things, and it always only happens to you. And I said, all the time. All the time. Since I was little, I've always seen stuff, I've always heard things, I've always known things, I've had intuitions, and even now that I'm married, sometimes I would see stuff and I would tell my husband and he's like, kind of like not believing me because it always happened to me. So she says that it's like if I'm standing in the room with the flashlight on and the spirits can see that they can come to me to communicate. The problem is I can't hear them. I'm not open to that channel yet. So she proceeds to ask me if I'm interested in learning how to open that side and if I want access to it. And I just don't know how I feel. What's crazy is that I've had at least 3 people tell me the same thing, that I have a gift and that's why I'm so intrigued by it. So she says for me not to play the Ouija board because of the gift that I have, that it would just...
In my own opinion, I think everybody has an intuition and everybody can hear things, but not everybody can see things. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. And it's not only the people that have gifts. That's what I think. But anyways, guys, this is the end of this video because these 3 videos we watched are very long, so I don't want this video to be more than 30 minutes. So yeah, this is the end of this video. I'll be back tomorrow with maybe shorter videos. Like anyways, like I said before, I will be back tomorrow with shorter videos that will be more than 15 minutes long. But yeah, anyways guys, this is the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will be back again tomorrow with another video. Bye.